So we're going to start now. Okay.
Okay. So just a little more. Clear the energy from that one. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, this is Colorful Foresight, where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo-woo time, where we connect our woo-woo into our mundane living. Hi, my name's Sylvia of Colorful Foresight. Today we have a topic on art and intuition. One of thing that I know that Heather is very, very passionate about. In fact, you can see some of her artwork behind her.
Yep. That's some old stuff.
So, anything you want to share about, okay, they're doing art and then they're doing art with intuition. Are there any difference?
I've always been very creative. I can pretty much remember the day that really got it started for me, having an artistic or being told that I had some ability. The one who really got the ball rolling for me in high school, and even took me to my very first art gallery. That was down the road in Buffalo, the Albright Knox Art Gallery. So for me, I had to work at it. It just kind of drives me a little nuts when people say, well, I can't draw stick people, I can't do this, I can't. And it's like, that's what I used to do. It's if you really want to learn, take a basic class, and as with anything, you practice. It's not any different than learning how to cook. It's not any different than learning how to sew. It's not any different than learning how to read cards. It takes, so for me, people saying, well, I don't have an artistic skill. I can't draw. To me, that's just basically saying you must not really want to learn then, because that's kind of the easy way out, the lazy way out to, if you wanted to get to that professional, level, if you really want to improve skills. But for me, over the years, it's less about, the perfection of the drawing. For me, it's become more of it's always been intuitive. I just, because that's become the new word lately within the last, I would say, 6 to 10 years. I did bring a book that I want to share with everybody. And this is Brave Intuitive Painting. And she has videos. She does workshops. And I just love how she teaches. I was just kind of like, darn, I wish I could have made that book. I still might do, sure. But it's just taking whatever materials that you enjoy. It doesn't, people think to be artistic and to be a real artist, it has to be, like a perfect portrait or a perfect still life or a perfect landscape. It's whatever you are, again, connecting with our intuition. Our intuition is our spirit. And whatever it is that we do, in our lives, it's all done by intuition. It's just that we don't realize it. Kind of like what we were doing in the past segment. Because you sat down, you looked at your material. This color feels right. This shape feels right. You're listening to your intuition. You are letting go of your connection to ego.
Right.
It's that voice back inside the head. And I know it's too for some people, because I've known individuals, especially some people that pop into chat, and not just, subscribers, but other readers who have said, well, whenever in the past I've thought about, thinking about just taking a watercolor class or just an introduction to color pencils, people that I tell look at me and go, well, why would you waste your money on that? You're not artistic. When people say that kind of, it's just my language, that kind of shit to each other or to another person, you're squashing a part of their soul, because we are creative beings. We're here to create. I mean, that's, we are creation. We create, women create babies, women, but you know what I mean? We're here, we're told that, we create, we make our food, we make our clothing, we go out. It's everything that we do is of creation. We all are a part of creation. So to say that I'm not artistic is saying that you don't have any creativity, but you cakes and stuff, and they pick the colors and everything. That's being an artist. Their art their materials isn't paint, it's frosting, it's color, it's their concepts in their mind that even if they may not be able to draw it, they can work with a person. I mean, everything that we do is creative.
That's a good way
And
of looking
if,
at it.
yeah, so for me, over the years, it's gotten to be more about what, I don't want to say the word resonates, what inspires me. Like when I go out into nature, I like to take my sketch pad, and when people, I do my colors or I'll play around, a lot of times you're not going to necessarily see a landscape, but I'm going to see certain shapes and shades of value that I've seen in the trees I think are beautiful that caught my attention. And so it'll be, very abstract, but it's also very based in nature as well. So it's whatever it is at that moment that is resonating with me, whatever colors I feel that day. When I go pastel, I'm like, okay, I have an orange sheet of paper. The complement color of orange on the wheel is blues and greens. So I'll initially grab blues and greens, and then I'll be like, oh, what other colors? And I try not to overthink it. I just allow things to naturally, flow. And if people want to learn how to maybe focus more or want to learn and expand more and understand, a color wheel, color history, or arts and things. There are classes, at local community places, even just, here we have a place in Niagara Falls called the Niagara Arts and Cultural Center. And it's the original high school from Niagara Falls that was going to be condemned, but a group got together and bought the place about almost almost 15, 20 years ago, and slowly have been renovating it. And they offer people, the old classrooms get converted into artist studios. They still have stages that they do plays on. So it's just a really beautiful way. And of course, it's harder these years because funding's being cut by the government. People lost, a lot of funding also because of COVID. So it's good. They're still doing it. They take donations, and it's just,
I think you're saying that it's simultaneously. Art is part of, like the flow, it's intuition. People think it's just flow, but that's part of the intuition, connecting with whatever you're working with. Do you have, can you show an example of when you were painting, maybe with less intuition and painting with intuition, or you would say all across the board?
Yeah, the only time that I wasn't really painting or drawing that I could say that it was intuitively was during certain classes in college or stuff where I had to focus specifically on a certain, learning how to draw a figure, having to make sure that, I concentrate on making sure this looks right, this looks proportioned. I mean, that could be intuitive too on a certain level, but for me, because that was very technical, um, I had to stay very focused. But over the years, I've been it goes back and forth, but it's very intuitive for me. It's very visceral. It's very in the moment. A lot of times too, I'm glad I was able to follow this train of thought because I have a love for music. I used to play several instruments, not professionally, but I've always loved music. So a lot of times I'll hear a song or I'll hear music, and I'll be like, I really love the colors and the emotions and things that I'm feeling to that. And so I'll go ahead, and I don't know, and I think I. So this was a recent intuitive. Not recent. This was about 3 years ago.
Wow.
I took a. It's a little muted. It's a lot brighter, but there is a website called Om, and they offer all different sorts of classes metaphysically and um, weight loss, journaling, writing, healing. It's very holistic. It's a very holistic website to look for in her name and stuff. It's kind of hard to see, but this had a lot of music guiding this
Mm,
one. So could very well be.
beautiful.
But for me, a lot of those colors were initiated by the music that I was listening to. Recently bought an oil pastel for me that she saw that I had posted. So right now I'm having fun with my oil pastels.
Oh,
And
that's
this is
beautiful.
right
Look how
here.
pretty. Make me feel
And like I
happy.
said,
Listen to
that was based on an orange, a shade of orange, and I grabbed the greens and the blues, and then I worked the other colors into it. So I do regularly, well, not regularly, but when I do get a nice collection that I like, I'll go into Canva and I'll grab a picture collage, and I'll just insert pictures of my artwork in place of those. I've done a couple of videos on some color pencil drawings, some past history painting. So it's all there on my channel. And so just taking time out now to figure out more of who I am spiritually. And I've been trying to focus on creating some sort of deck with my artwork. It's going to be an oracle probably. And so I've just been playing around on Canva for a while, looking at templates, seeing if any new ones have come up. But I have been playing with a couple of different templates where I can put an image. It's not the whole piece you'll be able to see. It'll be a smaller portion of it. But then try to look at connect them with the chakras, with color crystals as well, and kind of create titles and maybe a brief saying on them. So it's in the process. When the energy's starting to feel right now, so I'm hoping that perhaps by this time next year, I'll have something really solid, or before. I'm not putting any time constraints on it, in case it wants to manifest sooner. But my goal is within the year, 6 months to a year, start
Awesome. I
using
look
that
forward to it.
artwork.
I'll buy it. I'm gonna be one of them to buy it. Yeah,
So
best
and
time.
I have originals for sale too. So if anybody is looking for a certain piece, certain colors or whatever, my email is in my description. So if someone were to reach out to me and say, "Oh, I love like purples, yellows, and greens. Do you have any abstract pieces with those colors in it?" I can look through my iPad, my images, and I'll be like, "Well, I have this, and this. This will take this kind of framing. This is, paid." So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Sylvia.